we're live with Eagle's Desk, and I have a guest finally. It's been a while since it's been me and Eagle for a minute. I think the last guest was school appropriate like months and months ago, but we got another one. We got Coach SK. How you doing? Introduce yourself as we watch the players go.
Yeah, they're gonna be starting off this battle real soon, playing that L strike or overflowing, I guess, into another overflow. I'm doing good. Just got done playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
Playing a paladin in there.
Oh, okay. Which oath? And did you break it yet?
I am an oath breaker. Off the start, and I might have just started murdering everybody. And I already so went to a dungeon, and I already like sued the dungeon like bad girl who was in there. She's like a cleric-ish girl, and I already like took her under my wing and convinced her that I'm her god and something like that. So
okay, all right, yeah. That's a lot. We'll unpack that later. We've got looks like
later. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we got I guess Minerva Squad, right? Because like nothing else runs Impulse. There's no reason any other deck would run.
So he's already running Minerva Squad with the Mikazuki package in this trash, looks like. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've seen the Mikazuki package. Have you seen the Mikazuki package?
Yes.
So
yeah,
what is it?
Yeah, go ahead. Mikazuki is pretty much like the best package in the game because obviously it's like first form, ping, control the game, and very, very good. And then it just kind of lets you elevate towards it's your mid game is very, very strong. You have a link at level 3 which draws you a card. You can control your opponent, especially into aggro, and then sword strike and the other stuff just helps you. And once you kind of use the purple to get to the late game, that's where Destiny Gundam comes in, and then you kind of
gives you your end game, right? With the what do you call it? You've been practicing this style, the Minerva Squad stuff a lot. Let's go. What do you call it? Zombies? Yeah. I think you say zombies.
Yeah, Minerva Zombies. Yeah, Minerva Zombies is what I called it since day one, because you're just resurrecting your entire trash and bringing them back to life, and you kind of just win the game through blocker slop at the end of it. And if they kill your blocker, you just bring her back with Destiny, and so like you kind of go infinite, and you basically just win. At the end
what cards are in the Mikazuki package? Just the pilot, and then which Barbarosses are we talking
about? We're talking about Adept, we're talking about First Form, and we're talking about Mikazuki, and that's kind of it. And then you can run
pretty good package.
Yeah, you can run Rubik if you want as well. That's kind of it. Yeah, just all the good stuff. The good the blurple side of Blurple, or the purple side of Blurple.
Yeah. And then on the other side, I think I caught a blue card, so we know it's white blue, but I didn't quite catch what base it was. So we might be on a white blue blockers.
Definitely a blocker based deck. Play double overflow. We did discard an Ale Strike, so definitely playing Kira, the classic, Kira blockers. I don't know what else is in there yet because I also wasn't looking. But yeah.
No, that's okay. We'll see what we're on. Minerva Squad's level 5 turn, but they have the EX resource, so it's actually their level 4 turn. And I still don't know the right way to didact that to people, but we're just going to pass, and it's going to be our turn players, or the player on the play, level 5.
Yeah, very interesting that he passed with the Impulse Gundam. I always suggest everybody to play Impulse like a command spell. Play it, tap the 2, get the sword, kill the blocker, and you just generate value immediately.
Right, but I think this is is this the sword from the starter deck? I think this is the sword from the set that just rests, so can't really do that.
True.
I always get their
that's the starter deck one.
That is the starter deck one. I always get those two like swapped up when I'm watching like this.
Yeah. The 4/2 is the one the big one that hits hard is the one that kills something, and the 3/3 will ping himself and rest something with 3 or less AP. Yeah, both are pretty good. It's pretty much like a kind of a beatdown deck with the Mikazuki to control and Sword Strike to control, and then you eventually just go late, which looks like we are playing legs on the right side.
Yeah, we are. We're on the victory Gundam. We did get the Uso link pair this turn with the draw victory Gundam down, so being able to keep the hand size kind of healthy. Where do you think the victory Gundam deck is? It's definitely the premier white blue deck of the format, I'd say. But like, where do you stand with it? Like, it's doing well.
So the victory Gundam deck, I do think it's strong, but I only think it's very, very strong. Like every other blocker deck, it's just running a lot of blockers. It's not really super strong with victory and all that stuff by itself. By itself, it's just a pretty solid deck, but inconsistent. Kind of like Clan, maybe a little bit better than Clan, but kind of on the same level as that.
Right.
Kills it actually. Yeah. So I was wondering why he attacked with the lift right there. because he was supposed to block his victory there, but ended up taking out the victory. So that's where I think it is with the blocker swap added into it. It's pretty much just any other blocker swap deck. And Victory Gundam is just a permanent show resolve that you just keep playing and generating more value, which is disgusting if you can't get rid of it if you don't have a link in your hand.
Right.
Which in Gundam sometimes you don't. There's just simply no answer to it. And so I recommend you don't have to use that victory early on to get damage or anything like that. You just kind of want to set up a blocker wall and then just generate as many turns of
get infinite card draw, basically. Yeah. Right. No, that's why I love that card. I do think we played it a little early, but it could be just was the best play in our hand. But on the other side, we were able to copy or go tit for tat with a Sword Strike link into using the Force Impulse, or using the Impulse Gundam Reanimate to bring back another Sword Strike or Sword Impulse to get rid of the Lifrith. But we never attacked with that. We didn't attack with that for the Impulse Gundam, so missing out on some damage there. It's still 3 damage we could have done to the shield. So, ooh, now we're gonna get punished. Oh, that's gonna be nasty.
Gonna get bounced. The bounce house. He's playing more guys. He's gonna rest one of his units, I guess, and take them both out with the Kira link.
Get the gun easy. Yeah, I think you want to rest the gun easy so you could just attack into the sword impulse. No, I guess in the hand. In this deck, you'd rather the sword impulse to be in hand than trash.
Yeah, I think he realized. I think that one goes off of the HP, so he realized he couldn't rest the adept. And
the
so
gun easy is a mandatory effect, though, right? You have to rest something.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it just kind of ignored that.
Yeah, we still bounce the Force Impulse. Hey, real quick, you do have to rest something with the gun easy. It's a mandatory effect. You still have to rest yourself, though. There you go.
There you go. All right, so we're good. Just a, a little bit of
I'm right though, right? Like the gun easy even if there's no target, you have to rest something, right?
I believe so. I don't have the card in front of me, but I'm pretty sure.
No, you're not. I'm not right. He has to only rest if he has a target. That's true. I don't know if that's true.
He did have a target.
He did have a target, right? Because he didn't swing and then gun easy. He gun easied first and then swung.
Yeah, gun easied first, yeah. So he would have rested the other guy and then swung and then bounced and take out the shields. Yeah, I mean, you can probably just pull up the card and read it real quick. If it's
Let me see. Am I dumb? Maybe I'm dumb. I'm trusting chat on this one, but hold on. I could be wrong about this.
Yeah, it could be wrong. I try not to play these type of decks as much as possible, which is why I also.
Oh, it's level. It's not based on AP.
Oh, it's level. Okay.
Oh.
Well, okay, so they fixed it, I guess. Okay. Yeah, looks like they fixed it, anyways. Okay.
That's my mistake. Rip. I thought it was AP because everything's AP based with blue. That's so weird. Okay.
Yeah, usually I don't play that card quite often. But yeah, I mean, the more cards they're gonna add, everything's gonna be based on all these different things. And they're very confusing, as we already see.
So the Sword Strike did attack into the. Oh no, we traded Kira into the Sword Strike. I'm gonna play another to get rid of the pants.
Yep, getting rid of the pan with the ping damage. So a lot of people don't understand about the League Militaire deck is that the tokens you're summoning are a +1, same because they can swing and generate extra AP through many other ways. And so I do value the tokens as a +1 because you're summoning a token and it just kind of swings and does damage for you like a Kshatra ping. It's just in the form of flying legs that act as missiles to fly into your opponent's units, essentially, like ping a damage to a rested unit, kind of what it reads as. And so it can really generate you a lot of value if you start summoning a lot of tokens, especially because at the moment you don't see a lot of people using the level 5 Victory Gundam, I believe it's called, the one that on attack summons a 1/1 token. And so in the future, if we start seeing more of those, you can really just start, it basically becomes a Kshatriya where you just, ping 1 damage on attack. Or a Merida, essentially.
To me, this is the best card in the game, or for not the best card in the game, but this is the best card in the League Militaire deck. Like just the V-Dash Gundam being able to rest so much of the board in front of you at a game, and then if you link pair with the Uso, you automatically get a link token to you. Oh my god! And we're gonna and we're gonna armor on the back of this, so the whole board is now rested. Oh, that's so nasty.
It's nasty. I don't think that the purple player should be afraid of this though. He's pretty healthy. I think that's what 4 shields still.
I think it's at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, he can still swing back whenever he wants. There is breach, but we're almost in the late game now where we can start playing his big stuff. And
yeah, we had to use one of our EX resources for an earlier play, which did end up clearing the board except for the gun easy, so we were looking pretty good. But now like we're only going to be level 7. Oh, we do get a Kira to hand though.
Yeah, that's really, really good, because if he gets an ill strike or anything at all, I mean, Kira's just good on anybody. But yeah, free card advantage, goes back to his turn. I think the purple player is very healthy with the blocker on the board, essentially just having, you know, the League Military deck isn't going to just start slamming down a lot of aggressive attacks, especially now that he's rested. We'll see if he's holding Unforeseen Incident in his hand or not, but a lot of decks are not.
A lot of decks, I was gonna say, a lot of decks are kind of moving away from most of the commands, unless you're like a really command focused deck like red. Sometimes you still see it. Like I know Great for Demeanor is still in the game, but like I feel like that's been slowly a lot of players are moving away from even that card. So combat tricks are just not where people want to be, it feels like.
Yeah, it also feels like a little bit of people are probably, I mean, there's a lot of net decking going on in this game, obviously, and I feel like that kind of is taking away from people still adding in these different cards. And even Striker Pack, you don't see Striker Pack included in any of these white decks. Almost half the decks, probably, I would say nowadays, if they're running them, running only 2 of them, which I still think Striker Pack's so good, and it's one of the ways to stop aggro. People are like, oh, Graceful Demeanor is gonna bounce it, but
I mean, yeah, like I don't like when people just like I don't feel like that's a fair defense, right? Like oh, you just name the one card that can counter it, right? Like that's not a thing. Like you got to think of all the plus side too, and like the plus sides need to outweigh the negatives. And I think that, like you said, Striker Pack out of shield, just a random blocker that your opponent wasn't accounting for can change the game, right?
Yes. Yeah. Also, like Graceful Demeanor bounces the Striker Pack. That's still a 1-for-1 trade. That I was like, you don't really gain an advantage. You just kind of like bounce a card, lose a card, bounce something else. It's like not a big deal. So looking like the League Military deck is on the back foot here, down to 2 shields. Just took a lot of damage, and
2 shields and 1 card in hand, which is kind of surprising. We did draw a lot of link pairs, but I guess that's just what ate up our whole hand size at this point. The League Militia, or oh my god, the Minerva Squad deck still had 2 cards in hand, so both are kind of struggling on a card value, and no Destiny has been seen this game.
Yeah, you gotta remember the purple Minerva player gained a lot of advantage through Sword Strike, just popping those blockers early on. Right. And then your Curiel Strike, here's another one. That's
getting rid of another pants.
Yeah. Surprised he bounced the token and didn't just bounce something else. But
yeah, what would you have bounced there?
I probably would have bounced the Ale Strike just so he can't, like, he needs a Kira Link to bring it back, and he has to spend almost like, you know, half of his resources to play it out. And then I think, but he was worried about the token just swinging directly into his Ale Strike and killing it.
I also like the idea of maybe just getting rid of anything named League Militaire permanently, right? Because they really care about having multiple of those names on the board, right? Like if I'm the League Militaire deck, or if I'm against the League Militaire deck, the thing that brings them back into the game is a V-Gundam, and then they generate another token, use those tokens instead of using the core fighter, so the core fighter can keep attacking. So just limiting how wide they are with League Militaire pieces, since they already used 2 Usos, so the chances of them having the 3rd and the 4th one get lower and lower with a 1 card hand or 2 card hand, whatever it was.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. It's in that particular instance, just because he didn't have any cards in his hand, so it was like chances of him getting like a link to draw a card is like basically 0. But either way, it's looks like the purple player is gonna come out with a win here shortly.
Yeah, we'll have to see. 3 cards in hand. It's not game on board, but maybe we do have something in hand.
Yeah, we'll see what he has. His opponent is gonna have to block here with, looks like, no cards in hand. So his trash is pretty big though. I can see it. Pretty big.
Yeah, Yeah, we drew through a lot of cards. A lot of.
Oh, there it is, Destiny Gundam.
Oh, that'll do it with the link pair too. Wow.
Yeah, link pair to bring out probably Sword Strike, pop the blocker, and yep, there it is. Pop the blocker, swing for game. So GG's.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why
you didn't pay for Kira. Oh, I must have missed it then. My bad.
This is one of the reasons why I do favor Destiny Gundam and why I was playing it. A lot of my clients are also playing it. Is because in the end game, if you can't out the Destiny, it's just a permanent resurrection. Like,
yeah,
you know, all those GD01 playing Freedom blockers. Imagine if Freedom's ability was just bring back a dude.
Oh yeah, no, I think, like, while it's cool that the Shin is our like one of our first like 3 AP pilots with 0 HP gain, I think that is very clearly meant to help balance how strong Destiny Gundam is by making its link pilot like just give no HP. So because 5 HP is such an easy bar to clear for a lot of things, like, I mean, it gets clear, like Amuro rests it, right? And I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's very easy to take out, which is a theme in purple in general, like having that low HP, high AP. Since GD02, we've been seeing that, like even giving a lot of AP buffs in general. Iron Blood and the bases. Yeah,
that's true. And I mean, they always, like, if they have a higher HP pool, then they ping themselves to bring it down anyway. So it's kind of all the same thing. I'm going to sit us at table 5 and we're just going to watch, looks like another Minerva squad. We got S. Dot, a wing death scythe enjoyer, now moving on to Minerva squad, as Wings kind of not been seeing results here in top 16 regionals and stuff since set 4, so people are trying to find other ways to play. But funny enough, on the other side, playing his namesake, green white wing.
Yep, green white wing. I did make a video on this talking about how green white is one of the most, like, not consistent, but one of the decks that requires you to, like, really put time into it, and that you have to adjust it. It's not a meta setter, like it doesn't set the meta like I'm the best deck even in GD01, but it is something that can tackle the meta in many ways because it's super flexible. Whether you want to play Kira Ailstrike, Wing Gundam, Shenlong, Ultron, like you don't even have to play Hero and Wing Gundam if you don't want to.
Right.
You can really just, like, you know, take whatever you want, build the deck how you want, and play it in many different color options, because it's generally a mid-range beatdown deck, which is pretty good in general in Gundam.
Right.
Just not always the best, especially in the game.
I think having access to 8 Lifriths is pretty good. Right? Like, now that the flat militia card is out, like, you just have 8 Lifriths, and then you can back that up with now Silver Bullet, which just just makes it so, like, a lot of the ping strategies can't deal with your just high HP pull blockers. But I kind of agree with you in the sense, like, no, I mostly agree with you. I'd say, like, green white wing is definitely the deck that it's like you need to be able to tech properly for it. And if the field, it's kind of based on what everybody else brings. If you're predicting aggro and no one brings aggro, you're probably going to lose because of that. But if you're like, it really rewards you trying to, like, read what, like, how do I word this? But, like, it's oftentimes you look at a regional, you look at the results, you look at what did well, and then you try to anticipate what people are going to bring to the next regional. And I feel like green white wing gets really rewarded if you get the read right.
Exactly. And, like, Pink Jedi Guy, other people as well, there's still been other people who play wing, like, almost always, and they're still putting up results and winning tournaments, whether it's like a midnight stream or it's at their locals in store championships.
Right.
They're putting results, but I feel like it's the dedicated wing players who are there for wing, and they're stepping away from the blocker slop that everybody was running. And so I do think that you have to play, because people always call wing a late game deck. I don't think it's a late game deck. I think it's very much a beatdown deck with a higher curve, kind of like in Magic, or like you're not truly a late game deck. You just have this, like, you know, higher curve essentially. That they're generally, like, strong units that come in later on. And those units can generate you a lot of value, but you're a little bit slower. But I think people should be generating, like, people should be building their wing decks to be very aggressive, which is what Jedi Guy did, which is what I've been doing and showing off. Because against all these, like, blocker decks, they can't stop you from just swinging 4 AP at them, because your flats and your Lifriths can't block it, which is why Rick Diaz is still a very, like, solid blocker, and a lot of people do favor him over the flat. because he offers something unique and different, and also the offensive output of just swinging at the EX base. And so you can really close out games really early, because there's no way you're going to defeat Minerva with Destiny Gundam in the late game. You're not going to defeat Red. Red's always given Wing a really, really hard time because of how much card advantage and value they generate. And so you got to close the game out relatively quickly, like pretty quick. And Wing Zero's honestly only there against those, like, in the Minerva, it counters Minerva, which is fine because everything's low HP. But mostly is there against aggro, right? It's like they're going wide, I can wipe the board. But otherwise, you're really just trying to take out your opponent's shield as quickly as possible with the Wing.
So we're going to do an impulse into a Sword Strike, which will clear the Lifrith. And from here, we still have access to Force Impulse, recycle a piece back, buy back a piece from the trash. The token's gonna go in. I think that was, oh no, it's not a token. That's like a Strike Dagger?
Strike Gundam, I think.
Oh, Strike Gundam, yeah.
Alt-art, yeah.
Ooh, we have the Shin link pair for the Sword Strike to clear the Wing, and we're just gonna try to clear base here.
Yeah, it's clearing base. So he plays another Force Impulse, right? Yeah, it's called Force Impulse. Yeah.
And do we just get a link pair off the top with 2 cards in hand? No. Okay. All gonna pass. So maybe a pilot pile in hand. That sucks.
We'll see what he gets.
Yeah, now
I'm surprised at this point he didn't try to sacrifice his Force Impulse, try and getting a blocker out of his trash. I don't know if he has a blocker, but I'm assuming that he probably has one.
Oh, we got Destiny and Ale Strike.
Okay, he's looking good.
Still need a pilot for this Destiny Gundam because it is a win paired effect.
Yes, when paired, having the blocker up now gives him a lot of wiggle room. He still has one more card in his hand. I wonder what that is. It's tapped out though.
So you're resting 2, 3.
Sword Strike.
Sword Strike with no Kira.
No Kira.
We do need to find. Probably need another blocker on top of the Ale Strike to really defend against a Sword Strike coming at us.
Yeah, he's looking at his trash. I don't know if he's playing a vacant power or just has a pilot in his hand.
Probably trying to see what we could bring back with Force Impulse. Nah, I don't think we'd be on vacant power. I'm not big into that card. Are you?
Yeah, Vacant Power is a very solid card because you can bring back Ale Strike. You can bring back a lot of cards.
That's fair.
And like, imagine bringing back Force Impulse to then generate another +1. And sometimes you don't want to play like Impulse from your hand. It's extra copies of Impulse, like going from like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just an extra copy. And so you can really target anything you want, and it can be very useful in certain situations.
This board is crazy. We just ended our turn by playing another Ale and then a Force Impulse. We're gonna block. I think that's just the easiest block of our life.
And then he needs.
We need a link pair like an Amuro to try to actually go for game. No.
Looks like this is gonna be pretty much game here, unless the last hit a base. But
yeah, relying on that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, he could just sit back as well if he really wanted to, but.
Gotta do some damage. Yeah, I would at least attack with 2 of the Force Impulses. Put your opponent on. I always like having sending up 2 more attacks than our opponent has shield in these late game scenarios. But you still do just lose to like an Amuro Array link pair. So I think you just kind of have to go for game here now that you've turned so many sides. Unless, I guess it depends on the hand.
Yeah, I'll just swing. Even if that's a base, he won't get another card, and then you can kind of just see what it is. That is going to be...
And that's it.
Game, most likely. Yeah, he's going to reveal his hand. Yeah,
Grateful
Demeanor and Kira.
And this is kind of why people don't like Graceful Demeanor anymore, right? It's like, it's great into aggro, and I think it's a conversation we were having in the back room at the beginning. It's like, there's cards that are great into aggro, but then when you're not playing against aggro, they're just dead draws, and we literally just saw that happen to our opponent here. Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, this is why I think. So I personally I wasn't playing Overflowing Affections heavily from GD01 through 3. I kept saying it was like a bad card. And a bad
like it could draw you into that card that you want, but it could just be that card that you want, right? Like there's always been that defense. Yeah,
and just like in Magic, you got to pay a resource to actually activate this, and it's like, okay, well, half the time you draw into another overflow, you're like, this is not what I wanted. I could just have these, and most of the time, like also just looking for blockers. And looking for blockers, you're like, well, I can just turn these into more blockers.
And they would have just been a blocker anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is way better. It also reveals information to your opponent. But playing Graceful Demeanor, you pretty much have to run Overflow. And now they're in GD04 with access to a lot more cards, where using Overflow Affection basically as a sideboard.
I like it. I see what you're saying. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So you can just kind of draw out of all your tech cards for aggro. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it now.
I think like we were talking about earlier, the game's pretty quick, fast paced, and I do think that you're not going to beat the late game decks in the late game.
Right.
You're not, and to beat aggro, you got to be quick with it. You can't just sit there for even a single turn. You'll probably just die. And so you do need Overflowing Affection to cycle out, like take out the Shenlongs out of your hand, find the Graceful Demeanors or blockers, and against the blocker decks, get those lifters out of your hand, find the Shenlongs, and find the option you do need, because to have the best chance into a very even field and your coin flip between blocker decks and aggro decks, you're going to be pretty much having to build a deck that can fight both, and you want to put the pedal to the metal essentially, and try to win the game early if your opponent doesn't have a good hand, and just demand that they do have the answers to what you're presenting. And if you present enough stuff, you're just gonna win.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I can't hate on that. I'm trying to get your little image on here. There we go. That's his image. Yeah, no. Coach has no webcam. He's fine. He didn't want to pretty himself up for us today, so instead you guys just get me. But that being said, this is Eagle's Nest. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Join the Discord if you guys want to be a part of it. We give prizes and everything. It's a normal tournament, and some of our tournaments do it, or a lot of our players do end up doing really well at tournaments. But speaking of doing players going to regionals and going to tournaments and doing well at them, is like you have a big responsibility in doing that for people too, right, Coach? What do you do again?
So I am a coach. I coach multiple competitive games. I've been coaching for 10 years straight, pretty much. Whether it's League of Legends, Warhammer 40K, multiple card games, etc. And so my full-time job is pretty much sit at home and coach all of my clients to do really well at tournaments, improve at their game, prep for like the upcoming regionals and stuff like that. And so that's what I do.
That's awesome. Let me see if I can. You gave me a link, right? You DM'd me one. I
sent you an invite to my server, which does show the testimonials, and then I did send you a message regarding the information.
Let's see if I can find it. Just a link so you guys can click that if that's something you're interested in. Because like I think like I would say I'm not big into coaching and that whole world myself, but I do that. Like I was watching your content one day, and I really do feel like you hit a chord with something that like the genuine value that like being a coach and what you could do for somebody else. It was the biggest thing. It was the biggest thing you were talking about was this idea that like when you, how do I word this? It's just generally this idea that like a lot of people get in their head that they're not good enough, or like, oh, I'm sitting in front of, Brian Kibler, best Magic player in the world or whatever. Like, oh, I'm gonna lose. But it's like you really do, like, part of your coaching process is definitely this idea of like inspiring your student to being like, hey, that's just another nerd with the same freaking cards you have, right? Like just because they won a tournament doesn't mean like they're genuinely any different from you. Like you just got to play your game and win, right? Like it's no different from playing at locals when you're playing against an important, like in air quotes, an important person, right? And I think inspiring that confidence in people, I think is something a coach really can provide, and is really cool. I'm going to be sitting at table 3.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Sick.
With you. Yeah, 100% agree. Looks like it's the aggro matchup, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be a quick one. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just playing GMs and stuff as usual. Probably gonna go wide, and let's see who finds Gundam Amuro first. Oh, so definitely an aggro deck here. So in terms of coaching, like people think that when they listen to me like talking about coaching, honestly, a lot of people just haven't gotten coached before. And a lot of people do come to me and do get coaching, they always tell me like, holy, I did not realize this was how coaching was going to go. You know, they also think that the coaching starts with me backseating you, teaching you how to play your deck. That's not how coaching goes. There's so many elements to coaching. And you think about like a coach on a basketball team isn't just coaching the player to, you know, score a 3-pointer or something. There's so much more that goes on in coaching. And a lot of my like regional clients or, you know, clients that go to tournaments, sometimes I'm just talking to them about, hey, why are you losing round 1? You know, you always lose round 1. This is a pattern I'm picking up on. You understand it. We need to change your mentality. And so coaching can be mentality wise, it can be deck wise, backseating, but there's also a lot of insider stuff that you're not gonna like. You can see Brian Kibler's deck and whatever they're playing, but you're not gonna understand why they made those choices. And it's not gonna translate from like, you can't just net deck forever. I'm gonna teach you exactly like what goes into making a car, and then you can make a car however you want and feel like. And a lot of people just don't get that. And some people think like, you know, coaching is, some people don't get coaching because they're like at the higher level. But then I do have clients who are like attending YCSs who have top, you know, regionals, did go to nationals, and they learn a lot. And then there's other people who are newer to the game, and, you know, it helps them out tremendously that when they're new, they learn the right way from the very beginning. Doesn't matter if it's your first card game or it's like your 10th and you're OG player like us. You're gonna learn, like, it's like if you could sit down and get into Brian Kibler's head, he's not gonna tell you the same stuff he speaks on YouTube. He's gonna show you a whole different like road, and you're like, wow, this, I didn't realize this existed.
Have you coached any miniature games like Star Trek or anything?
Yeah, I'm a very good Warhammer player.
Okay, 40K.
Star Wars, yeah, Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, and I also played Star Wars Shatterpoint.
Oh, okay.
And I'm a coach, and I learn very, very quickly. And I went from like 0 to hero in any game I touch pretty quickly, like League of Legends or whatever it is. And Warhammer 40K, like I went from playing in my basement with my brother and my one friend to my friend going to the World Championship in his very first time and winning a big tournament in Toronto. On his very first time attending. And same thing with me. I won my very first GT, and people were like, who is this guy? I've never seen him before. And I'm like just curb stomping people. And I just started coaching everybody because I'm like, yeah, I'm just this good. And I played against some of the best players. Like I met with Scary. I played against one of the guard players who's like the best guard player, and Team Canada members as well. And then my clients as well, they've played against whether it be Ireland, Japan.
Hitting the armor array and shield bites. This is a very even match, and I feel like that could be enough to flip it.
He's low on shields. That's a first from draw. This is where.
Ooh, a second Amuro though. Oh my god.
He's probably sitting there like, oh, just by the way, that's the second Amuro. He just showed it off twice.
That could push it back into his favor, because like both players are at this point kind of running out of cards in hand, so just getting 2 pilots out of shield like that is just, could be somewhat, or it could just be more pilots in hand. It could go either way. But if something's gonna push it to his favor, it'll be that. What is?
So with aggro, right? I was talking about this with somebody else. I want to hear your opinion about it. I think I would say from the very beginning, aggro is not just a problem of they can destroy you in the first 4 turns or 5 turns. I find in Gundam, the problem is not just that they can GM spam and Amuro and kill you. It's that they have too many cards in their hand. Like when you board wipe them with wing 0 to wing 0, sometimes they still have like 5-6 cards in their hand. You're just sitting there like why?
Oh no. You know? Yeah, I think like I've talked about multiple times when people are playing against aggro, they are just worried. They get it's very easy to fall into the trap of like, I just got to get to late game. I just got to get to my wing 0. But if you get to wing 0 and you have 0 shields, you've still lost that game, because eventually you're not going to have the answer for their 1/1 body, and they're just going to go sideways and win. So it's like there is a mix of like you still have to press for not only advantage and card advantage like you're saying, but you also have to win your own game. And on time, right? Because if you just take it too slow, it doesn't matter how advantageous you were or how many pluses your wing 0 got. Like just 1 card is enough to go for game.
Yeah, 1 card. And I find like the aggro players, the reason why the aggro deck are actually such a high win rate and so good from GD01 till now is because they don't just try to kill you in like swinging at your life. They're actually going to beat you with more cards than you have, period. And then you run out of cards before the aggro player does, and you're sitting there like, I have no cards. My opponent still has like 5 dies. It's like, you know, you're just going to lose off card economy. which is something I find ridiculous. That aggro is not only going to kill you really quickly, but it can also outvalue you no matter what deck you're playing.
Right.
Like ridiculously outvalue you. And I find that's it's a dual problem of having both of those in the same deck. Just makes it the best deck in the game while also being like,
also the consistency of it, right? It doesn't matter if you're on a Hezak or a Rizal. For them, it's the same card. So the more consistent curve, like they just have the most consistent curve in the game, right? Like, yeah, they could have the crazy high roll of like, I don't know, 6 bodies turn 3 or whatever the math, whatever the math is. But like realistically they're playing like 8, like I was talking earlier, like, all right, Wing Zero has 8 flats or 8 Lifriths now, and that's amazing for them, and they love that. But like that's just how Blurple's been playing since 3, right? They have so many vanilla, like you're seeing on this board, the Gundam Zero or the Zero Gundam was such a, like, people were more excited about the Zero Gundam than like most of what was in Steel Requiem, just because it's just like, this was what Blurple, like things like this is what Blurple wanted, just vanilla swingers that I can play with one and like just effectively, and you're just gonna get so much value out of this.
Yeah, looking like the game might be coming to a close here.
Yeah, we're playing Banshee, or excuse me, Unicorn modes.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cards in his hand, but we'll see if you can put a stop to this. And it's only a matter of time till our opponent probably draws another pilot. Having so many shields is obviously a very high chance that you're going to see a pilot from the shield area anyways.
I'm starting to think that this wasn't a, I think we had it wrong. I don't think this is a aggro mirror. I think this is probably somebody on like a blue
Unicorn aggro beatdown.
Yeah, and we just kind of drew our aggro pieces early and didn't really get into our main game plan, so we're just kind of drowning.
Yeah. So like it looks like it looks like a unicorn deck with GMs and other stuff.
Because that's probably the Norn, right? Or no, that's the, I forget what's at the top of the trash.
Yeah, it's the other unicorn, the one with the AP reduction, I believe.
Oh, right, when you play a command.
Yes. Oh, there's an Amuro. Rest a card.
Question: If I just started in Gundam, where would you go to start playing your locals? Or you could play at Eagle's Nest. It depends on your confidence level, I think. But oh, it's the Norn Altar. Thank you.
Norn Altar, yeah, okay.
Because I do work at a card shop, and I get people that come in all the time that are like, oh, I'm trying to get into it, and blah 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 blah. The biggest thing I got to tell people when it comes to card games, especially starting your first card game or starting to go to a local scene or whatever, is just have faith in people. Like, nobody wants you to play this game more than other players of this game, right? So when you, like, anytime I've ever had an experience where someone shows up to local, they always get accepted with open arms. You just, you kind of have to go, just have faith in people, man. Like, people want you to play this game, and we'll teach you how to play this game if you just show up. And so, like, that's the first thing you got to do, is just go to locals, man.
Yeah. The second place, I think, the best place besides playing real life is webcams. Webcam is the closest you can get, and you get to like meet friends and talk to them, hang out in a call, and there's just so much to talk about. And you still get to play with your own physical cards, and it just feels like you're almost like as close as you can get to playing in person.
Yeah, and there's so many communities out there, like your community. I imagine you have a Discord where people will probably hang out, discuss the meta, do what they got to do, or like here at Eagle's Nest, it's like it just kind of pick your favorite content creator. They probably have a Discord where people are just yapping and wanting to get some games in. And then there's always MSA, which we do have here at Eagle's Nest. We do have a MSA tournament coming up June 5th, I think we're doing now, because it was lining up with the Orlando Regional. So it's we slightly changed the date. I put the links in the description below if you guys are looking for an MSA tournament, which is the browser-based online simulator for the Gundam card game. So check that out.
Yes. I can't wait for the Digimon coming out later.
Oh my god. Oh, the mobile game one? Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'll be playing that for sure.
Yeah, I still that is my Digimon is still so good to me. As much as people have moved away, I'm just like, that is still my baby.
Yeah, like, what's going on in this game?
We were able to, yeah, looks like we were able to get a Norn established with the pilot, so we were able to clear the entire board, which is just nasty.
Which is back.
True. True.
Yeah, I probably prefer the Wing Zero in this situation, just to actually kill everything and then hopefully another one. This is why Wing Zero is such a powerful card, and it's gonna stay a powerful card until beatdown decks really take over. Because man, Wing Zero is a great equalizer, especially into purple decks. Like, it's one of the reasons why I kept playing Wing in this new format, because League Militaire is weak to Wing, to blow up their board if you can. And Minerva, which is a very, very powerful late game deck and gets there relatively quickly and controls the board, you can pop everything they brought back to life besides the Destiny Gundam with the Wing Zero, and that's the only way to kind of reset the game and then finally go for the win afterwards, especially with high maneuver. And I was saying that if those two decks didn't come out in the set, Wing might have been actually done for, because it doesn't have any decks that it's actually trying to play into and beat, because it clearly can't beat aggro, especially with Adepts having 4 HP consistently, but it has some decks out there that it can be a predator against. And then obviously it's a gatekeeper being like, hey, if you're not
this good,
one of the better decks, if you're not this good, I'm gonna Wing Zero and like completely crush you.
Yeah, and I think every card game has that gatekeeper deck, and I kind of agree. It is, at this point, it is Wing Zero, especially with how prevalent it still is. A lot of good players still play that deck and are committed to that deck. So like you said, like if you run into a Wing Zero player, they're probably gonna be like a practiced player at that point, so they're not winning on accident as a Wing Gundam or player at this point. So you just have to be able to be that good. And it looks like we get an Amuro Ray with, this is another Gundam.
Yeah,
this guy's got blinged out cards. I can't, alt arts pain me.
Yeah, especially when you have like so many variants of it, especially that one. You don't see it a lot because it's
which one's this one? This one is this the Draw RX-78?
No, it's the alt art from the like collector set. That was, like, yeah, super expensive with the lift rate and like all the other cards in there.
Oh, so this is just the starter deck RX-78. Okay.
Yeah, starter deck RX-78 with the alt art from the Bandai collector's binder or whatever it was called.
Got you.
It has like the lift rate in it, the Gundam in it,
and
some other cards like the Zaku, where the Zaku came from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Alaska. Any advice on how to build a Digimon TCG community? Just keep showing. Like, it's hard for me to say because I live in Orlando, or Florida is just in general like a really insane hub for like hobbies. Like, there's just always a scene for anything. You just got to find it. In terms of starting one, the biggest thing I could say is probably your best bet is just like the advice I would give is just like pick a day, pick a card shop or wherever, or hobby shop, wherever it is you may play, and just make sure you always go. Even when if you're going to be the only person to show up, still go, because you never know who might walk in that door thinking that there's a tournament that day and then being told, oh, no one's here, so you're the only one. Like, you don't want to give a person that experience, because that could be the one shot you get to recruiting that player, unfortunately. So that's the kind of thing I think about. But
yeah, looks like the aggro player took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, can hop on over to another game. But in terms of Digimon, I already got like 3 of my own clients into it, and I've been trying to like share it through my live streams, talking about, hey, Digimon is a very good game. And it's, if you like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or fast pace and like to actually the sequencing,
just
and
throw up a bunch of cards on the table. I feel you.
Well, yeah, that, but you know, waifus, all that stuff. But honestly, I think right now is a good time to get into it because the new star decks are really fun. It's getting into the whole like,
yeah, they're pretty strong. Yeah,
system. They're pretty strong. And $15, I mean, $15 is how much a star deck is. MSRP at least might be like $20 where you are at, or 25, whatever,
or lower depending.
Like you just spend $15, get a starter deck, and that starter deck 100% is good enough. I've been playing in the Digimon community with the starter deck against people, and like in Digimon, I just feel like my deck is already good enough to win like the game. Like,
no, especially the Glowing Dawn one. Like the Glowing Dawn one is really good. Like, you'd only need like a couple cards from the set that just released to really put it to like the optimal power. But otherwise, like, yeah, the 2 starter decks and you can go pretty far.
It's pretty forward. There's a good learning curve in it. There's lots of like deck diversity, and you don't have to play like S tier decks or whatever. You can. It's a best of 3. You can still bring unique decks, and a lot of decks are very cheap, especially if they're not top tier. And even the B tier, like whatever A tier, not S tier, whatever tier it is, like it can still compete and play a game or counter specifically what someone's playing. And I do like that there's a very diverse, meta game,
right?
In Digimon. Unlike Gundam, it's kind of like, oh, blockers are aggro. In Digimon, no, there's a lot more going on, and it's way more fun. I think if it's a little bit too fast paced for you or too like complicated, you'll get used to it really quickly, because your Digimon kind of just do 1 or 2 things. So if you want to get into Digimon for local community, I would just say, hey guys, let's just all pool $15 together. It's not going to hurt us. Buy a star deck, and let's all start playing. And if you buy the new star decks, they're really, really solid. And if you want to expand to other decks, it's really cheap, just like Gundam. Like any Bandai game, it's like,
Bandai kills it when it comes to like, so you come from Magic, you come from Yu-Gi-Oh, you come from some of these other card games. And I tell people all the time that like I would never recommend somebody buy a booster box of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I will always recommend somebody buy 2 boxes of any Bandai set, just because maybe not a reprinter set or something, depending, because those pull rates can be kind of weird. But it's like, if you're trying to get into Gundam and you wanted to get into Celestial Being, right? Set, what was that? Set 2, 3? No, Steel Requiem. Set 2 or set 3, right? Like you buy 2 booster boxes and you'll have play sets of every rare. You'll have probably 2 of every super rare you need. I guess Gundam's a little different because there's no secret rare, but like the pull rates in Bandai are so generous compared to the other card games. It's always worth it to buy a box, in my opinion.
I'm the opposite opinion of that, actually.
Really? Okay, go ahead. Go off, King.
So everybody buys booster boxes, right? Like you're saying, buy booster boxes. So your entire community will literally hand you the full playset of bulk. Like it's so easy, right? And you're not going to play with the deck anyway. So ignoring the bulk that you can pick up for like literally pennies and cheap as hell. I think I calculated it. I think it was like 240 or like, let's just say $400. $400 gets you the master set of all the LRs from GD01 through 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's like $240. And that's like
a master set. Yeah,
of every single card, 4 copies of every single LR that you can pull. For $240, you're getting a master set of basically all the LRs in Gundam, like ignoring first form basically. But even if you account for that, it's like whatever. And some of the LRs are not even $10; they're like under $1, which is psychopathic. But so I think the best way to get into Gundam or whatever, any Bandai game, is like, hey, just go after, like, look at the prices and just be like, hey man, for $10 I can pick up a full deck, pick up all the alt arts, or not the alt arts, the LRs in Gundam are so cheap. Like if somebody just goes out there and there's like 12 alt arts per set.
I thought it was a little higher, but you might be right.
12 or 16, either way, whatever it is, multiply that by 4, and then that number, let's say it's $10 per alt art, but it's going to be a lot less than that. But it's like $5 more. So $5 per alt art, you're looking at nothing.
No, I mean, I think what you're saying is just kind of also a symptom of what I'm saying too. It's just like, it's just so good to buy like a box. The pull rates are so generous, right? For the most part, that you can get everything pretty cheaply. Like you should always, like, obviously singles, it's always probably better, more like financially efficient to buy singles, but like in terms of that ratio of what you're saying, like the singles to buying a box, I think it's still the best in any Bandai game. Yeah,
for sure.
100%. It almost seems like they're trying to shift Digimon to closer to Gundam with the new URs. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, all they did was add a new rarity. They didn't. The Minerva Squad completely just ran away with this game, by the way, chat. But I'm not sure what you mean by that. They still have secret rares. The URs, they just kind of got rid of a rare slot to add URs in your box. So cool. Could use some, if you want to explain yourself a little bit deeper, Kyle. I'm down. I'm gonna go to just find a random table. We got table 8. Get them on the screen. Playing a different Barbados.
League Militaire versus Barbados deck. He's playing purple white Barbados with Striker Pack.
Probably trying to get the Lupus
Yeah, it looks like the Lupus Carry variant, which is a strong deck. Looks like it's currently losing.
Yeah, I think we got a shield. And yeah, we have a base, but nothing else.
Yeah, we got a base. We got some resources up, so maybe an unforeseen, maybe a graceful demeanor. We'll see what our League Militaire player plays here. Oh, okay. Well, there's the V-Dash, and there's the pilot. Nope, there's a base, replacing the base, summoning a token to then use V-Dash's ability, which might spell doom for our Lupus Carry player. I believe that is a Barbados alt art from the what is it called? The premium miniature like combo bundle.
Oh, the Gundam Assemble.
Yeah, Gundam Assemble.
Is that something you're interested in at all? Coming from a Warhammer?
Yep, already got everything booked, pre-ordered for the different starter sets.
What's your take? What's your take? What do you think about the game?
I haven't played the game personally. I've kind of just seen it. And I think the game will be very like smooth, basic for the most part. And the thing about miniature games that people, I don't know if you play miniature games, but miniature games, man, you're really trying to abuse something real bad.
Okay.
You're trying to abuse something really, really bad. If there's a skill issue, you are gonna win. It's almost like playing chess. Like if I know a way to cheese out a win, I can do it. And if you make a mistake, miniature games can be pretty punishing.
Right.
I don't know how punishing it's going to be in the Gundam Assemble game, but because we're playing with miniatures, you only can bring so many. Unlike in card game with RNG factor, there's no RNG factor in miniatures essentially besides the dice.
Right.
So when you're trying to win, you're trying to bring the most efficient miniatures possible. And if you find some combo that the opponent or the Bandai didn't like fix essentially or something, you are simply going to blow your opponent off the table and win. And that probably does exist because that exists in a lot of miniature games. And I find that a lot of people when they play miniature games, they're not coming at it from I'm going to play my cards accurately and card advantage and everything. They're trying to move their Gundams around and shoot their opponent and have fun while rolling dice. And I find like I do this in Warhammer. You don't play Warhammer, which is like if you play Warhammer and want to move your models around, shoot and have fun, you're gonna get absolutely curb stomped, right? It's like playing chess, but you're playing it like checkers and just taking things off the board, but then you end up losing because all your pieces are gone. So you really want to play it like chess, which is strategic and getting efficiency and all this stuff and scoring the point, right? What is the ultimate goal? To win the game, do it as best as you can, win the game. And a lot of people that do play miniature games are going to not play like that. They're going to play it, I want to move my Gundam out, do its cool ability, whether I win or lose doesn't really matter, which can lead to a lot of feels bads.
And what do you think, like, because I've been hearing that like the Gundam card game is kind of, or not the Gundam card game, excuse me, the Gundam Assemble game is kind of basic for now. Like it's not like, but it's also like they might be, I could see Bandai kind of making a mistake. I'm not a big miniatures guy, but the vibe I was getting was like a lot of like there's no reason not to play the best units right now. Like you just make your board, you just pick the best units, and then that's your team or whatever. There's no like real like synergies or anything to abuse in that sense yet. So you just abuse stat lines and go for that. Granted, it's just a set one, and we might not know the full breadth of what kind of figures they're bringing into the card game. I'm not super. It's not something I've been following super heavily, but that's just the word on the street that I've been hearing is that the units are a little too simple right now in terms of what we have, and that could be their mistake because they're treating it like a card game. So everybody wants to like, oh, you want to be simple so like everyone can learn the game and then we'll introduce the busted stuff. But it's like miniatures players just want the busted stuff right away. Maybe that's a weird read I have.
It's just how the game's going to play out. I mean, having a queen piece on a chessboard is like so powerful. So like you're doing the same thing in a miniature game. But I will say this, just like in chess, 90%, if not more than that of miniature game players. Like even in Warhammer 40k, which is like the biggest one.
Right.
I'm gonna say that 90% of Warhammer 40k players do not know what the hell they're doing. I don't care if you go to tournaments. I don't care if you win a GT. 90% of Warhammer players do not know what they're doing. And I've even asked like Brad Chester, who's a very famous, like very good Warhammer player for a long time, and most players who can go, like, let's say you win NTC in Warhammer, it's a lot more skillful, but if you win an NTC, borderline, you only need to know 50% of the game. You only need to learn 50% of Gundam, essentially, and how to utilize your deck and build your army and the game itself, to actually win a Warhammer GT, right? And this is not even just my words, but other Art of War top players, Nick Tanavati, you only need the bare minimum 50% to pass and possibly win an NTC in a very competitive game, which is not very high, which means that 9% of players who play miniature games are just not good at them. Okay, they're just straight up not good. And if you take into account for all of card game players in general, I'm probably going to say that also 90% of card game players are not at the top of the food chain, although it's going to be a lot higher who are actually like this tall to ride the card game, because you do need to, like, in Magic the Gathering, you get the other games, you need to be good at them to a certain level. But in miniature games, you don't really need to be like that to do pretty well, and you can kind of just abuse things, just like playing aggro in Gundam or something. You don't have to be good at card games to do what you're doing. So with miniature games, currently whoever's playing and testing a lot, you know, they might just not be good at miniature games. And I find even in Warhammer, when I coach my clients, every single list is unique. My clients are doing specific things to win at the game, and the stats don't end up mattering. So, but I do think that the Gundam miniature game is very basic from what I saw, but it might not show the full picture yet, because, for example, like, I'm a very good miniature player. I don't know how good everybody else is who is playing that. And if 90% of Warhammer players, if not more, are just not good at the game,
which kind of leads into your point of, like, one of the things we were talking about. You mentioned earlier, is like, why are you losing round one? Round one, in theory, like, sometimes round one you're playing against Brian Kibler or whoever the Warhammer guy you keep speaking about. Sometimes, and you know what, you deserve that L, but, so, like, you know, or more like that L is, you know, understandable, right? Yes. Like, but like most of the time you're in a 1,000-person event, round one's supposed to be kind of free. And it's kind of off that idea. It's like there's a lot of people that, like, their players are not, like, overall people are not as good as you think they are. Like it'll surprise you how much better you are to the game than you think you are, for a lot of people, I would say.
Yeah, like I always give, like, anybody in chat listening, going into your tournaments, round one, unless you know the person is, like, better than you, whatever. I did a whole stream about this. So if you guys want that whole stream, like, go check it out on my channel. Like, it's listed, like Coach Yaps or something like that. It was a very long stream, but I just mostly talked about this. Is you need to go into that round and curb stomp whoever it is. Like, do not go into round one making friends. That is when you can start revving up your engine and going into the tournament being like, yeah, I'm gonna win round one. It's the most freest round. If I'm gonna make a mistake, it's gonna be round one, and that's gonna set you up for success for the future rounds. And you really want to show your round one opponent how much better you are at Gundam or whatever you're playing than them. And it's going to set up your mentality and just, you know, warm up your engine, whatever, and get you going for the rest of the tournament with confidence too, because you're going to say, I'm going to do this. You do it round one. That builds up confidence, and that steamrolls you through the rest of the tournament, essentially pushes you forward. It's really important. And then, you know, if you do meet Brian Kibler or whoever's is better than you, you should probably start taking notes and, you know, ask your opponent, hey, why did you win this game? Or if you do meet Brian Kibler or whoever it might be, like, you know, Pink Jedi guy or me or whoever it is who's really, really good, you know, go up to them and be like, hey, why are you better than me? Ask them the question of, like, what makes you better than me? What makes you better on this deck than I am if we're playing a mirror match or something? And then improve at those aspects of it, right? You need to gauge what the difference of skill level is between you and your opponent. And once you can understand that, you can either improve at the areas to beat your opponent, or you can understand that these are his weaknesses, these are my weaknesses, and maybe I can slide in a win because I'm better at doing this one particular thing than my opponent is, or you know, if you're going to lose a game, these are the reasons why you're losing, because your opponent is significantly better than you, and you understand why they're better than you and what aspects they're better than you. I think that's pretty important.
I've played Star Trek Attack Wing for 4 years. Not too much out now, but still play at home. Chip minis are nice. Yeah, I have a friend that really tried to get into the Star Wars one, I think it was called X-Wing. X-Wing? I think it was called X-Wing. Yeah, Star Wars has so many different miniature ones that it's hard for me to keep track of all of them. But yeah, no, their minis gets pretty sick pretty quick. So what this is Kyle from earlier on the Digimon conversation. So what I meant, from what I understand, URs will have a higher pull rate than secret rares. So theoretically, if they have a card they want players to have better pull rates for, that's a UR. Oh, okay, I get it. So like secret rares can go back to being shitty instead of like a $60 card you need day one. I guess that makes sense.
It's guaranteed 2 ultra rares in a box and 2 ultra arts, I believe, in Digimon, right? Yeah,
it is 2. They've changed. Yeah, so they've changed it. So it's now, I think it's still 7 supers, 2 URs that like you're saying you just added, and then you have two slots that one is always an alt art, one could be a secret rare, but sometimes it's an alt art. Like there's like one flex spot right there.
Give me that Beal Star secret rare, please.
I had someone pull the SP in the shop. That was crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
And potentially over time they might phase out secret to make UR the only. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I could potentially see that happening for sure.
See that, yeah.
Round 1 and 2 are important for momentum. Yeah, I think we just agreed with that for sure.
Super important. This guy's playing what is he playing? League Military, looks like. Yeah. Played a blocker. Already going to like what, turn 4 here? Yeah, turn 4.
Yeah.
For a player going first.
Yeah. Oh, do we have is this Shin? It is this is Ray.
Yeah, that's Ray. So Ray will target himself, giving him -2 damage. Ray is very, very good, guys. Like very good.
No, I kind of like both the other. I haven't found a super great spot to fit in the I forget the girl's name, but both Ray and the other Minerva Squad pilot, I think both of them do have a place in the deck. I don't know, but like the list just hasn't quite come out yet for people. I don't think it's a problem with Phantom Zaku and Ray. I think those cards are excellent cards, just like Gundam Amuro. The problem is that, again, the top 2 things in the metagame, blocker slop and aggro, right? So it's like, you know, if you want to have the highest win rate, you're pretty much taking out Ray and Phantom Zaku and putting in more blockers. Right.
Yeah, and I was showing this on the stream as well and in my playtesting. I mean, I do like playing Phantom Zaku and Ray a lot. It's very, very strong, especially as an answer to Gundam Amuro and stuff. And if you look at the best decks in the game, probably right now, they run a level 4 Link.
What do you think is the best deck in the game right now? I know we've had a few regional events, but where do you land?
It's still aggro.
You think it's still aggro? That's fair.
Yeah.
I would probably put my money on aggro as well, most 9 times out of 10. Specifically Blurple, or just any variant is good enough for you?
I think they're both pretty much close, and they're both very, very good. Blurple plays that control aspect of it by default with the ping and having more control over the game, which gives it a fundamental advantage, being able to target and interact with your opponent's board. But the opposite side of it is the one-year war deck is a very much an actual, like, it's taking the offensive aspect of it, being very aggressive, doesn't have the ability to ping and do all those things exactly, but it will kill you with Rig Doms and Char, giving high maneuver. And that's where I think that the deck is very good, and the ping unfortunately automatically counters a little bit of the one-year war aspect of it. But we've seen in Japan multiple times that one-year war still makes it to the finals and tops and can beat the Blurple matchup, multiple times.
How do you feel about in terms of one-year war? They've been, I feel like a lot of lists are now adopting the I forget which was the Zhang. It's the one that summons the wire arms, and then when it's on destroy, summons the head.
Yeah.
How do you think that card has a place? Every time I see that card, I kind of feel like the one-year war player loses the game. But what's your take?
No, Xiang is extremely powerful because what it allows you to do, I mean, it's literally Corsica based on crack, right?
Yeah, that's true.
3 cards, and I think that the thing is, Um, people are only playing 2 copies of it, and they're building the decks a little bit differently. But Zeong allows you to, like we were talking about earlier, aggro doesn't just win by killing you; it wins by card advantage.
Right.
And getting 3 more bodies is like, well, that's like 13 damage, I believe it is, on a single card with a pilot. It's ridiculous how much damage that is, and so you can't ignore that. And so it will beat you with card advantage. If you play Zeong, they board wipe you or whatever. Play another Zeong, it's like, now what? Right? A lot of decks you're seeing in the metagame are playing only 2 Zeong copies. If they play 4 copies, then you're going to really start to see where Zeong is going to shine a lot, because you're going to see it all the time.
So the problem is it's like the first one doesn't win you the game, it's the second one.
Yes, the second one is when it starts it just starts snowballing like crazy. Because you board wipe me, I just go white again. It's 2 cards for 3 cards, and then you kill it. Summons another one. You can't even like interact with Wing Zero because it's level 6. So very, very good card, and it's something that's gonna stick around for a long time. And that's another thing. Because people are not running 4 copies of it, they're not making the micro decisions of the micro decisions in game to decide to go late game. They don't take that avenue. Because they're not playing multiple Zeongs. Most of the time, they're just trying to go aggressive, win the game through that. And my Zeon decks basically have played 4 copies. And now that I play 4, based on my hand, based on what I'm drawing, I'll see it more often. I can choose to, just like purple, start generating a bunch of value, not go for the shields, go for trades, knowing that I'm going to play Zeong or Corsica base, whatever, and generate 3 dudes for 1 card. What are you going to do about it? Nothing, because you're down like 2-3 cards already. Like, I'm just gonna go +3, then +3 again, then +3 again. It's like, that's +9 is silly.
That's fair. Silly. I think for at least for here, my in touch with Wing Zero is like, Wing Zero is like slowly fading away. So like those crazy board wipes from a single card aren't happening as often. So in this like Eagles Nest meta game, I'm definitely feeling like, you know, something like Zeong, like the first one comes out, you're not really getting board wipe, you're just losing the turn after. But in that world where like, no, people are still playing Wing in other communities, especially in regionals, we're seeing, you know, it's still getting tops, like you were saying. In a field with actual decks that can board clear, like, you play the first one, it took them 4 cards to deal with your 1 card. And now you just do it again, and they're not going to have the 4 cards a second time.
Yeah, and we saw the couple games earlier, right, where both players down on cards, like even the aggro matchup. Well, imagine if those cards were just Zeong. You're not running out of cards. Like, it's just so crazy. And also, like, if you look at my Zeong deck list, like, I'm not running Show Resolves. It's too slow of a card. I'm not playing it in white decks either. It's just too slow. Like, you go to Magic the Gathering, nobody plays cards like that. You're not wasting a turn to play Show Resolve unless you can play it on your opponent's turn or cheat it out or something. It's just too slow. In Gundam, it's a board-centric game. You want to be, you know, addressing the board, playing multiple units or cards. And if you play Zeong and Zeon in general as a control deck with Rig Doms and play it slow, and you know that you have those Zeongs in your deck, you can choose not to attack your opponent's shields, make them wait with their blockers, or purposely trade cards early. Your opponent thinks, oh, he -1 himself, my blocker is getting value. But realistically, that -1 at the end of the game, I know I'm getting +6, +9. So like, it doesn't matter you got +1, +2, I'm getting +9. That's a +7 for me at the end of the game. And so I'm going to win. Just like against blue-white players, they're going to get those pluses, but it's when they play Show Resolves back to back to back, they get pluses. And all of a sudden, I don't care you got +3, +4 as a blue-white player. I'm getting +9. Like, what are you going to do against this much card advantage? It's just ridiculous.
And looks like we are on some kind of blue-red ping, bringing that back, which is kind of an oldie. I feel like set 1 blue-red ping existed, but in set 2, 3, I feel like definitely a pairing that kind of fell off. I think with the, it was like that. I want to say that blue-red was our best mid-range deck in set 1, but then going into set 2, set 3 with the dominance of, like you said, blocker swap into or versus aggro, right? You were either on one side of the paradigm on either of those for the majority of set 3 for sure. Like this is a deck that just kind of faded away, but they do keep adding really good commands for the list. I mean, like I still think was it Overwhelming Pressure is the newest one that they've added to the list, and I think like it just such a good. I think it's such an efficient card a lot of the time.
Yeah, the reason why like I think it fell off is because in set one, vanilla cards were good, like Rozelle's. Things didn't have abilities, but also most of the time that deck won is because it obviously generated value, but number two, it just aggroed your opponent with playing gun tank GM armor ray. It's the same thing, right? Just kill your opponent. But nowadays, Blurple does it better because it has ping all the time, and the generation of card advantage that you get from like Banshee or Kshatriya, everybody in the game has gained an extra card. Like Force Impulse gonna get a card. You know, you're seeing like cards with 4 HP. You're seeing cards like that draw you more cards, like Victory Gundam. You just can't get through it all. So like they're generating more card advantage than you, and now the deck kind of falls away. And they're also pinging, which is the same thing you're doing. So it just like other decks just do it better. And unfortunately, the deck just has kind of disappeared because of that.
That makes sense to me. Looks like we got the Kshatriya, the LR Kshatriya down, and we're gonna pass with 4 resources up. So either stocking up for some of those red commands to be slung out at this turn. Do have some good targets for it, some vanillas. It's hard to see what kind of list we're on the. I know it's Minerva Squad, but it looks like we are like we saw the Rays and stuff earlier, but we are on a couple of the vanillas as well.
Purple. Yeah, he's playing white purple. Probably playing a more aggressive line. I don't know what his white pilot could be, but it looks like he's playing the white GM and the other Zaku Warrior Minerva GM as well. So probably another aggressive bounce, swing at shields, win the game deck.
I could see something I've been thinking about is definitely like I like the idea of maybe players running thing like I've always been a fan of Suletta. I've always been a fan of Suletta in like things like Gundam Wing, right? Like being able to play a Wing Gundam next turn, give it Suletta, so you still get the extra HP that it would have gone if it was a Hero Yui, and then just the extra AP in this deck I think goes a long way, and I think it goes a longer way in Minerva Squad sometimes. Not saying that that's what it is, but I always try to find a reason. I think Suletta is a bit of an underrated pilot right now.
Suletta's, I think in all my earlier videos I was always stating that Suletta was my second best pilot in the game. Like you can put whoever you want for Suletta is my second best pilot in the game because of the stat line and what she does for you is very powerful. Like the first Wing tournament I won was because I put Suletta in my Wing deck and just started getting the resource, and not having to use that EX resource was a huge deal. And before like Fatal Strike came out, having to put Suletta on a Lifrith meant they couldn't armor me, which is very powerful as well. So it's just like free card advantage, playing more cards as well, especially in a deck like Wing where you're playing one card a turn. Being able to play something else or an unforeseen something goes a long way.
Suddenly that's like an extra Lifrith you got on board earlier, right? Like I think that's huge. Or that one could be, I mean, that it was a time where we were still playing a lot of, you were seeing more Overflowing Affections or a 1-cost base, and suddenly like, okay, now I get to develop my big body and a 1-cost base, which is disgusting.
Yep, it's very, very good. What is going on? He's playing another, so that's an Impulse Gundam.
We are going to immediately use its effect.
And he is going to go and grab
blocker. Oh, Force Impulse
again. So he's generating a lot of value here, which is the difference between running Force Impulse and not running Force Impulse. I personally don't run it a lot because I'm relying on Destiny Gundam. This deck in particular might be a deck that doesn't run a lot of Destinies because it could be a break in your hand, but playing a lot of Force Impulses means that, hey, it dies, you get another card. And then you bring it back, it dies, you get another card. It's just a Charizard 2, you can just keep bringing it back. And you will eventually win the game through so much card advantage. It can be very, very powerful.
I could see that. We're going to... We did pass the turn and all. I mean, we're ahead on shields, not by much.
Yeah.
Next we are presenting like a simple lethal on the board where we have a base too, so we're a little bit more ahead of Shields than I originally thought. But
yeah, we're pretty happy here.
yeah,
And it does look like I wonder he's probably not playing Destiny Gundam in that deck in particular. Maybe like 1 or 2 copies at most.
It's not the main focus, right?
Zaku. Yeah, he's playing Phantom Zaku. He's playing more GMs, and then he's playing Force Impulses, like I think 2 or 3, whatever, more of them, which means he's going for that beatdown, aggressive. My Force dies, I get him back. I can clear a board and keep swinging, and I'm gonna have card advantage just through my guys and Phantom Zaku with Ray. So a beatdown mid-range deck looks like.
Oh, this the Neo Zhang though.
That's a problem.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
What are we gonna recycle? We have a lot of choices. Our trash is pretty hefty at this point. Just recycle 4 or Impulse? Looks like we're going for maybe the blocker. We're having a tough time deciding. Sword Strike. Sword Impulse it is. No?
Not the sword. Okay, so Impulse Gundam again. So he can re-bring back his card. He's just generating so much value off of that. He can also use it to kill something. We'll see what he does here though with it. One of the scary things against Minerva is that they can actually link with a lot of their cards. So you could just go for game out of nowhere sometimes.
Sometimes they just care about a lot of the mid-range units are just care about either a coordinator or a Minerva squad. So it's really easy to get that link.
Yep. I played a lot of games where you just go like 2-3 swings, GG's.
Which, something about winning your own game. Like, yeah, we got to play our Neo Zhang. We have the board right now, but all our opponent needs is 3 attacks, and we still need, there's a base. Granted, the base won't last for long because we do have a
pilot.
We're going to do immediately the Force Impulse or Impulse into Force
again, so he can again just hold that card advantage. That's good enough to crack a base or trade. This game is definitely not over yet. I'll still be favoring the Minerva player here in general.
Depends on how many cards are in the Neo Zhang deck. Because like here, if you just stocked up on some weenies, some vanillas, or you have a pilot to just make everything.
You can go full frontal into something else, into like another Neo Zhang. That would be crazy. How
does Corsica base the 2/1/1s? Are you dueling 6 for the 2/1/1s?
No, so it counts as the instance. So the instance is limiting 2 guys, so you only get 1 ping.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like, that's why I'm a big fan of like the white red variant, because now you can play striker packs and stuff too, and so all those little like token spawners are gonna give you. Oh my god, what? Oh, okay. One thing's dead. We got to decide what. Double Neo Zhang. They both see each other ping, so we got 3. Oh, we're gonna spread it out, so we might just have like close combats or something to just do 1 ping. Obviously, the Marita gets rid of 1 easy.
Yeah. And then next turn, you can get rid of the other one. He's going to get rid of the L strikes. This is like one of the biggest, scariest things in the current meta game, which is why I refuse to play any late game deck.
You just lose to this.
You lose to this. It's like there's nothing's going to beat this, which is why you need to be aggressive. Like you have to be aggressive, and Minerva also, you can't beat Destiny Gundam in the late game. You can't beat Neo Zhang in the late game. You got to be very, very aggressive from the get-go. There's no like sitting away. Like Wing Zero is not the end game. Freedom Gundam is definitely not the end game. You card advantage. Everybody has a lot of card advantage now, and probably more than you do. So you just gotta like put an end to the game before these late game decks can get this late.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a world where like we're not even scared. Like there's a world next turn as the Neo Zhang player, you just play a third one, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's probably sitting there thinking, I've got this in the bag now. Like he can't do a lot.
What are our outs as Minerva squad? Like we don't know if we're on Destiny. We haven't seen a Destiny in the trash.
Yeah, or probably not on Destiny.
I don't even think we've seen a Shin, but we are gonna clear the Marita pilot. Going for base.
Yeah, shields. He has to go for shields. Hits a base. It's pretty good because now you can actually do double link for a game, whether it's this turn or in a couple of turns. So there's Destiny. Okay, so he's playing it.
He's playing Destiny.
There is a Shin. Ooh, this might be game. You can bring back something on the attack and then link it for game. There he goes. He's gonna bring back something.
This is a big. What are we bringing? We're bringing back something cheap.
Oh, he has to be careful here what he brings back. Well, if he has a pilot, he's fine actually, unless he's a Shin. Because if he has a he's okay. He just ends his turn there. Okay, I thought he might have a link, and then it's when it could close combat. The sword strike, but brings that. I'm surprised he brought that one back. Only a 4/2 rather than bringing something bigger back.
Looks like we do have a plan for the rest of the 3. That's why.
Okay, he's gonna cycle through to try and find pilots or something.
What is this card? I actually don't even know what this card is.
A new sign. It's basically draw. It's Graceful Charity. Draw 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you draw 3, discard 2, just bigger overflow.
Interesting that we're running that. That's a with 3. So I'm a little. I guess we really wanted the card draw. So like you said, try to find that pilot. But
find the link for game. Essentially, that's his best way to win this, especially because he has Force Impulse. He can grab anything he wants out of his trash once it dies.
And with 2 Xiangs on board, I definitely kind of agree with the idea that like, I mean, you summon Blast, everything. It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, but that's why. So there's a pilot. So that's
that's the pilot we needed.
That could be game right there. Oh, that's the pilot.
Oh no, 2 of our 4 Shins were in there. That's why we didn't think we were on Destiny. Do we have link pair the way we're playing?
Oh, see, that sucks.
Full frontal 3rd Neo Xiang. Oh my god.
Yeah, that is just lose. There's no.
Well, I mean, no blocker matters there. Like it didn't. The choice didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter what he did.
We had the Kira in hand.
He didn't have. Wait.
Oh, did we draw it off of the Graceful? I think we drew it off the Graceful.
Yeah, I think he drew it off the Graceful. Damn.
Yeah, our hand was Ale Strike. I mean, we didn't have the turn. Wait, did we? We had. We needed one more energy because our hand was probably Ale Strike.
I think he drew the Ale Strike Kira link and he discarded the other 2 cards.
I think you might have been right. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Either way, close game.
Yeah. That was stupid close.
Yeah, very close game.
But man, I mean, at the end of the day, like that Neo Xiang, like nothing really answers that game, that card cleanly. Like, and then so I agree with you. Like, we're living in a meta where it's like, if you let it go that late, you can't let it go that late. No matter what you're building, whatever deck or whatever game plan you have to be able to win before 2 of those things come down. Yeah,
this is like I tell people like, hey, if you're gonna play a late game deck, play Neo Xiang. Do not play anything else, unless you're like a big Minerva fan. You can play Destiny, sure, because Neo Xiang isn't like super popular, and a lot of people are only playing like 2 copies of it and like the.
It's tough to play, right? Because like aggro's still so prevalent, so you're probably gonna dodge it for the most part. But if you don't,
and this is why I wouldn't bring Neo Xiang, and I wouldn't bring any other blocker deck. I'm playing some sort of mid-range deck or just aggro essentially. Any mid-range deck that can be very, very aggressive. Even that Minerva deck we saw, like if you didn't have Destiny there, possibly you could have had something else to be more aggressive. I don't know how long he was holding on to the Destiny or anything like that, but yeah, I think mid-range decks are a thing and they can win games. And next set, I think things are going to change with
what about
Academy support. Like, oh my god, they're showing a lot of stuff.
Or when you say next set, you're not including the G generator, not the G.
Unfortunately, I was very excited for that. One of the only people, because it was one of the only hopes that we were going to see something change. Right, this is a brand new mechanic. SD Gundams. What are they going to do? All of a sudden, it's not even meant to be played in the same game. Essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think there's some hope in there in terms of like those G generation cards. Like every pilot links with everything, and I feel like there's got to be something strong there somewhere.
Exactly. There's got to be something there. I just, they could have went with the design space so many ways. why did they choose to make the cards like 90% of the cards we're seeing are worse versions of standard Gundam cards?
I mean,
that's my flaw with it.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's a take multiple people have had. I've heard it from Eggman. I've heard it from Eagle. It's like, how many blue pilots do we make that are Amuro but worse? Like,
yeah.
There's just so many things. Like, they try to remake another Amuro and it's just always worse. They always add like either a hoop or a condition or something, just and it's always like an unreasonable condition. I think that's why Ligue Militaire is finally the first deck to really kind of break that, where like, yeah, they have conditions to do what the same thing that Amuro, right, and RxND have been doing, but they do it in their own way and it's a consistent way of doing it. Like, right, you get a token off, they get like, there's so many ways to get a token in that deck. Then as long as you have, and they could have restricted it to just tokens, right? And then that would have made the deck unplayable. But instead, they're like, okay, as long as you have any Ligue Militaire, you're online. As long as you have 3, or like, obviously for the draw, you need 3. But for most things, you just need someone else on the board, and you're getting there. Amuro needs an errata IMO. I don't know. I think power creep. I think we're almost at the point where Amuro is now at the same power level as everybody else. Maybe that's a hot take, but
I don't think Amuro is a big problem, or Gundam or any of that. As more people get level 4 links, everything's going to be on the level of Amuro essentially, and have answers quickly in the game to an Amuro link or a level 4 link. And Amuro itself, yeah, it can rest certain things, but Amuro's not like winning the game by himself in every single deck. It's mostly he's being played so much because of aggro. Like, GM's going onto the board is what's winning the game, and Amuro it's just a siege play. Like, it's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Except it links, so it's like an extra damage. So
this might be our finals. Let me double check what our tournament is looking like so far.
Finals already, damn. We got
Gundam's fast, man. That's why we're talking about how, like, you know, maybe best of 3's real.
Yeah, who's in the finals?
Let's see if I'm even right. Yeah, I think we started tonight with 20 players, so it shouldn't go to 5 rounds, but I guess there's always the possibility. Let me see where I'm at. MLS Wednesday. Also a reminder, everybody, on June 5th, if you guys are interested in MSA and the things they do, we're hosting here at Eagles Nest, we are hosting a MSA tournament. So that is their browser-based, it is a fan-made browser-based online simulator for the Gundam card game. So 0 commitment to need to actually play the game. Just show up for the same price as a meal at Taco Bell. Eagle likes to brag about.
Yeah, exactly.
And we got prizes and everything. Let's see, pairings. We're in round 4. Yeah, this is our finals. G Shadow versus Flake. 2 regulars here at Eagles Nest. G Shadow definitely is a community member in the chat all the time, always bouncing ideas off of us for you guys in chat. And then Flake has just been a staple of this community for a while with their long elongated setup with their webcam. It always makes me fun.
Yeah, I played against G Shadow before in the Gundam community server.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a grinder, so I could believe that.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on people asking for board wipes besides Wing Zero? I guess it depends.
Yeah, I want them in the game.
Yeah, there should be more, right? I think the question is more of like, not that should there be more. It's more of a question of like, what are we talking, like, how do I, like, what turn should I be able to a board wipe? Like what like at what, like, obviously Wing Zero is our bread and butter. It's turn 8, right? You can board wipe turn 8. Are we allowed to board wipe earlier? Is earlier mean it has to be only a command can do it, right? So stuff like that. Go ahead.
So I'll tell you, my first contact wing deck that I did really, really well with, others are too. That deck, I played Wing Zero on turn 5 very consistently.
Right.
Like, my entire job is so even on turn 5 with board wipe, it's not enough.
Oh,
and
okay.
we also know one board wipe is not enough to put down aggro. They're still going to be able to do whatever they want to do because they have so much card generation value. So,
right, but that's a very specific play line that gets you to Wing 0 on turn 5, right?
Yeah,
be fair,
it would make it easier to survive the early game. I do think we need a board wipe. Turn 4 is probably where it needs to be, being a power card. And then one thing I don't want a board wipe in this game doing is killing Gundams. Like I don't think a Gundam should be killed through a board wipe.
Okay.
Like a turn 4 board wipe can kill like everything level 3 or lower because they're just like cannon fodder, like Zaku's and like GMs and stuff. Like who cares?
I can agree with that.
And then if you want to kill the bigger stuff like level 5s and lower, right? That's where like you can have something that's a lot higher level of a command spell. Like Wing Zero hits everything, so maybe have something that's potentially at the same level, not a unit, maybe level 6 and can kill everything level 5 or lower, or maybe not level 6, maybe higher than that, but it takes over a whole turn, wipes the board, but it allows you to punish your opponent for either just going wide with blockers or playing too many things and not attacking you. There's got to be interaction, almost like Digimon. You can break the board at some point, and you can't kill every single Digimon, like maybe the lowest units, but you can still kill stuff or put them to the bottom of the deck. And I also don't want them to giving board wipes to only one color, because I do feel like every color needs some sort of way to like either stun lock the board or kill the units or bounce the units. Something's got to exist that's
something I find that's a little problematic in Gundam right now, is just in general they're tried too hard to commit to like color identity a little bit. Like white has so many blockers, and I think like like green has 0, and like in other card games, like I mean counter spells are a blue thing, but it's not like the other colors don't have counter spells or ways to do things, right? Like but they just come at a higher cost or something. And so I definitely think like just kind of letting the other colors have things should be okay, because I still think white is the best color in this game, like by far. Maybe not by far, but that's where I stand, is like white is the best color. It is always going to be paired with something in top 8. I know aggro doesn't really care about white, but like I don't know. I think going forward, I think white is still just going to be always around. Eventually, when Bandai eventually solves the aggro problem, I think that's when we'll see that, like, you know what, this color having access to all these blockers and all these delay tools is kind of problematic, and we'll just have to see. What's up, Brain Knight?
I think a bigger problem is that colors like green, right, big color like green, doesn't have its identity. They're not pushing it for ramp or reduce cost, whatever,
or breach or whatever. Yeah,
it's not really going all the way in, while white and red are getting a lot of support, and purple is getting support. Like what's green doing? And blue hasn't gotten too much outside of draw and rest. Like where's more of the healing aspect of it? Where's more of the support for the decks that exist in blue outside of like Amuro, right? Or like the which we're gonna get those star decks later in the year, but the green, definitely. I think the green is one of those colors
I agree.
Technically doesn't exist.
I would say green's probably the worst color in the game right now.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist. There's no ramp deck. There's no like actual ramp deck, no strategies, no big level 10 boss monsters. So once that happens, I think it will add just a whole new dynamic to the game.
I agree. Like we saw in the last game in our semifinals, I guess now. Like Neo Geong back to back to back to back. That should be a ramp colors thing, right? That should, like, why is it we're seeing that in red instead is a little weird. Not that red shouldn't have that card, it's just it should be predominantly a green thing, right?
Yeah, they're not giving like equal, like they're not printing cards equally to all the colors or what they're meant to be, which is very sad. That green's like, we're going to set 5. If they don't make green a real color with lots of support, and its identity needs to be like super clear, and especially the ramp part of it, because that's the most unique part that it has to it. We're gonna be waiting another set before green can really do its thing.
Next set, I mean, yeah, I know I was gonna say the next set green white wing gets better, right? Because we're gonna get the white support, but like that's not really green, right?
Yeah, or they do what they did with Academy, where it's like, oh, these two things don't even
work together. I feel like it would be hard for wing specifically. I think it's even more so like a second hero Yui could be a vanilla and it would still be played in the deck at almost 4 copies.
You'll be surprised.
Really? Okay, maybe. Fair.
I find that a lot of people do not play wing.
Okay.
A lot of people talk about wing. A lot of people have played into wing, but a lot of people who were playing wing before, right, were just playing it because of Kira's section of it, like the whole white section.
Sure.
And now we're seeing like it's a lot lower wing decks out there, and I think wing has a lot more going on to it, and people who play wing understand that it's a little bit everything. And wing Gundam and Hero aren't exactly like, it's not a card that is going to win you the game automatically. It's just a card that kind of supposed to bring you back in the game by having that stay
wing
around
0. Yeah, but I think if we can consistently have that starter deck LR attack with linking and attacking the turn it's played, I think Wing suddenly becomes that aggressive deck that you that you were alluding to.
Yeah, I think it's already an aggressive deck. It's just that there's a lot of cards that just kill Wing Gundam at this point. Like,
that's fair.
It's a lot of things like get rid of it. GD01, I agree. Like, it was pretty powerful,
I need a true Troa pilot. I don't think. Well, it depends on how good Troa and its link would be, but I don't think that saves the deck. And Quadra, that's fair. Quadra. Oh, because they're command pilots. I see what you guys are saying.
Who do you think's gonna win this game? We're looking at an AL strike board with the opponent having a bunch of cards to swing.
Yeah, it's looking kind of grim for our Minerva squad.
Yeah, Minerva blockers here in the finals, but again, aggro.
Aggro just has to play their consistent game. Yeah.
This is.
I don't know what the hand size is for the aggro player right now. We did get a lot of value out of shields. I think like 3 pilots. I know there was a Mikazuki in shield, and there was definitely that Shin in shield. I think there was one more as well. So
yeah. And here comes.
We're just gonna go wide,
Blurple, which is even better. Yeah, I think once you play into Blurple and they have that huge card advantage, you're just done. Like, yeah, just lost a blocker. There is only way to survive this is probably play a base and play blockers, because, or hope that last shield is a base. But yeah, that's enough damage to kill everything. There's no Wing Zero, no board wipes here.
Yeah, I mean, we're only level 6. We can't even Destiny.
Yeah, you can't even bounce everything because there's 3 level 4s on the opponent's side. So this is gun tank with graceful. You're gonna need a base and unforeseen, and then like blockers essentially.
Yeah, you just don't have the resources for all of that.
Even if for a one base and 2 Lifrits and a unforeseen level 6, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Which is, but I mean, he even has the base up though. The base, I think he can rest a gun tank or the Ong to rest something. I believe that's what it does. Rest an Earth Federation unit to rest one of your opponent's units.
Yeah. So the gun tank will solve that. But that does get her, you have to rest one of your own units, so that might not math out.
Yeah. Oh, there's a base. We're one step closer. He gets to see what's the top.
Immediately.
Force. Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah, if you guys are watching in chat, I mean, make sure you guys like the stream. And also playing Minerva, I would recommend playing Minerva, especially playing Minerva blockers. Try playing Minerva blockers without force impulses. Your consistency will go up a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like, none of my clients are playing force impulses. If they are playing it, they're only playing 1 copy of it just to get Destiny back potentially.
Okay.
And
what would you put instead? What takes up that card slot for you?
More blockers, more utility.
Oh, okay.
You don't need to play a level 5/4 cost. It takes up a whole turn.
Right.
It could just be another blocker. Just, play more guys. Play a command spell to like actually interact with your opponent immediately. Fatal Strike even would be like, a solid card against things. Yeah. Because you'll win the game, but like if you go if you're playing Destiny Gundam and you do get to Destiny, you should win the game with like your resurrection. You don't need Force Impulse for that reason. You just need cards to be played from your hand over and over again to get you to Destiny. Because it's just like Neo's Young. Once you're at that level, most of the time you should win. Here's a blocker, Link.
Mikazuki to ping the gun tank?
Gun tank, I assume. Yeah, has a blocker up.
That's still not enough, right? No, I guess it is enough. Assuming no interaction from Blurple.
I think you can block 1 guy. It's gonna hold them off for now, for sure. But I think that base rests 3 HP or less. I don't use that base, but it might be 3 HP or 3 AP. I'm not exactly sure, but he plays
Corsica base.
Corsica. Okay, so you can just go wide, draw a card.
I think we're getting the Talgis. Yeah, we're getting
trying
the
to find an
Talgis.
armor or something.
It's level 3 or lower, apparently. So
yeah, level 3. Yeah, there you go.
Blast gets us out of that.
Yep. A lot of these weird tech cards that don't play because I just find that they're like not a reason to like try and make these tech cards work. They're just
that's off the back of this being best of one and sideboard.
Best of one.
Oh, there we go. That's it. That's game.
Yeah, he knows it's over.
Did we must have gotten it off the Corsica base because like I feel like there's no reason.
Yeah. What's he rest? He rested the. Oh yeah, he's just conceding.
Yeah, I think they're just conceding. I mean, even just the Amuro by itself wins the game. And we had nothing but pilots. Ugh.
Yeah, Blurpool is definitely still the best deck in the game. 1 Year War is very, very close and definitely something I would take, and you do need to play differently into both decks. And 1 Year War, you can try to kind of just kill your opponent, and Char wins games. Like Char's Gelgoog, Char will win you games. Because we saw all these games like they're at no shields, and they might have a blocker that makes them live longer, but if you have Char, it doesn't matter, right? So it's just so Char is underrated. Like, yeah.
No, like high maneuver. That Char is still giving not anything, but a high maneuver is still pretty. Will just win you the game.
Apparently, Zim said they need a judge at table 3, but
that's okay. We got a judge. We're privileged. We get to just sit here and we got other people working with things on the back for us. Yeah. So they're probably taken care of. But with that said, guys, it's not every time I get a guest on here for you guys. It's usually just me and Eagle. But this time we were able to get Coach SK, and he's been live streaming a lot. You've been at least live streaming like once a week at least, right? I think more than that though. But he is a coach for multiple games, more than just the Gundam card game. So definitely check his stuff out. Join his Discord. Join his YouTube, or what is it? Oh my god, it's subscribe.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel and go check out my videos. Check out the comment section if you want some tea.
Ooh, that's fun.
Especially in like some of my videos. The how many pluses is too many pluses video. There's a lot of comments in that one. So go enjoy the read. And
Char needs an SP. Yeah, people love Char. G Shadow coming into the chat real quick saying, please nerf aggro next set. Okay, thanks. Bye. No, I think most people kind of agree. Like, I don't think anyone's playing aggro for the sake of the love of aggro. I think people are just playing aggro to win, and I don't blame them for that, of course.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem fun to me to play aggro. Go ahead.
I've said it multiple times. Aggro in the current game of Gundam is not aggro. It's just one drop spam, cheese wins, and it's not true aggro. And the current decks, quote unquote aggro, are not just gatekeeping everybody else, they're gatekeeping real aggro decks out of the game as well, which require Breach and Mikube and like decks that were better before, but they're just getting gatekeep because you play an aggro mirror match and the one guy just GM dropping it on the board and just killing you. It's like, well, I'm playing an aggro deck, but I can't Atherin or anything. I can't do nothing. I'm just dead. Like, I'm dead before I can start high maneuvering and breaching and comboing off.
Playing your game plan.
What you want to do. Yeah, even the Cyclops team, like you can win some games, but it can't beat aggro most of the time.
I definitely agree with that. We'll see. I mean, it was a problem in Digimon around set 4, set 5 era as well. We had Rookie Rush, and that eventually got creeped out. I think even in One Piece, I don't want to call it. I wouldn't, obviously in One Piece it's a little different of a game, but like things like Vanilla's being really well statted and all over the place, and just playing like play stat efficient body and win the game is kind of the similar what's happening to us here in Gundam. Play stat efficient body, win the game. That got solved in One Piece as well. I think it's just hopefully over time we'll see. I think there is still kind of a fundamental flaw in Gundam in which that like in comparison to One Piece and Digimon specifically, and even UA, I guess, well, everything's a blocker in UA, so I won't count UA for this one. But in those two games, you get punished for having weenies, right? If you attack security in Digimon with my 1k body, or let's say a 1-1 in Gundam, the security can kill you. Like if you flip over a 1k or higher in shield in comparison, like I swing with my Jim and I reveal a Destiny Gundam, that Destiny Gundam hits my guy back. And there's no kind of, and then One Piece, you have to hit a stat floor, right? So your 1k body can't do damage to health unless it's 5k or matching whatever the leader is. And at that point, you're probably committing some of your resources. You're committing half your turn so your weenie can attack. So it's not efficient. There's no punishment for just little bit of like a board spam, and we'll see. I believe in Bandai to work it through, but I don't know. Otherwise, you got anything to say, Coach, before we head off? Oh, I got one thing before he talks. Me, this weekend is going to be Top Cuts Regional, and I was asked to commentate it. So me and School Appropriate will be commentating Sunday, May 31st. Check that out. Should be fun. It's going to be on the Top Cut Events Twitch channel. So it's kind of really small on the screen there for it. Definitely check us out. Support the community. Watch the streams. We'll see if Agro's able to take Peoria or not. Anyway, Coach, you got anything to say?
Yeah, if you guys liked hearing me yap here, go ahead, and there's a lot of people in the community who don't know I exist on YouTube. So go ahead and check out my channel. You can learn a lot of stuff from me, and I'm one of the people who uploads decks day one. So when GD05 is going to come out, like I'll have the deck list made immediately and start pushing out the content. And I'm a coach too, and I talk about every single deck I play on my live streams with every single deck. I'll even play your decks if you come and tell me to play your decks. And if you guys want coaching, like, do reach out to me. And my Discord name is like CoachWing0. Message me, add me for coaching. It goes a long way, like for all of your TCG career. It can help you, and you won't have to run around asking other people like, what card should I change, or the ratios right. You'll just know, because I'll teach you like my formulas and everything, and you'll improve significantly, and hopefully win some new types and do well at tournaments and just feel better about playing the game in general. And it's almost like hitting the gym. As long as you're in the gym and you're paying for it, like, you're gonna be motivated to play more Gundam, improve. And one of the things that gets people bored in trading card games or get them frustrated because they don't know how to, like, you know, overcome a problem or improve and find it boring. But once you get coaching, it's like you're just improving every single day and always realizing like, oh, I am actually, you know, this bad, or I'm improving a lot every single day because of coaching. Is going to help a lot.
All right, with that said, guys, see you guys next week, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out all the other stuff we're doing. Again, MSA tournament is going to be on next Friday, June 5th. And yeah, we'll just be back at it again. We'll see if Eagle comes back, or if I get somebody else, or maybe get Coach back again. We'll see. Like, share, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye-bye. Personally.